friends, in our time together today, I'm going to introduce a brand new Oldie whistle. Well, I bought it brand new, but I'll call this an oldie but goodie. And this is a whistle that I think if you're upgrading or if your budget can afford it, it's a great whistle to get. I bought it from the good folks at Big Whistle, and they were so kind as to permit me to purchase some whistles at a discount because they knew that I've been buying for the purpose of sharing with you all, in addition to the purpose of owning. So that was really kind of them, and they didn't even ask me to say that. They said I didn't have to, but I want to because it's only fair. And I love going to their website. It's kind of like shopping in, for me, a pastry store where I want to try everything. And I feel like that when I'm looking through the bigwhistle.co.uk site. If you go to their site and you're shopping, be sure to check out the pre-owned and B-stock section. Anyway, I'll put chapters to this video so you can jump around if you want. I've spent, most of the reviews I've done are on introductory whistles and intermediate whistles. But we've talked about upgrading our whistles, and there are important points to consider with that. And so I thought it's only fair that I introduce to you a whistle that for most people is an aspirational whistle that's on their list. But you shouldn't put a whistle on your I want this whistle list just because it's popular and everybody says so. You should put a whistle on your list because of tone characteristics and the physical qualities you like of the whistle. So I'm today going to introduce an MK Pro. Ha! You probably guessed that's what was coming. A beautiful case, thick material, nice Velcro. I got the MK Pro in green, just like our friend Jonathan. But I think it's beautiful. I'll talk about some of the physical characteristics before I introduce some of the tone. But I also want to say, go to the MK website. I'll also link that in the notes to this video. Their website is awesome. You could do a factory tour video. You can go to the link for Whistle Care. That's in the resources menu. Please read the story as to how they got started. It's pretty awesome. And their whistles, I think, are stellar. Okay, I'm letting the cat out of the bag. But again, I'll talk about tone quality shortly. This whistle may have been around since 2003, I'm pretty sure. But they have improved it over the years. They're always tweaking it and making it a little better. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I said don't purchase based on price. Purchase based on tone quality and some other characteristics. Playability, volume, the amount of breath it takes, all those characteristics. However, I do need to, and I said don't base your decision on money, but I do need to say, if you buy this new, it's going to cost over $300. So that's something to consider. And if it's a whistle you really, really want and it's not in a budget, save up for it. Sell some other whistles and buy it. Don't sell your favorites. I've listened to a lot of other people. Some people have sold some of their favorite whistles and regret it. Sell whistles you bought just to try out if you're going to do that. Would I recommend this MK Pro? So I need to say that out of the gate because you might want to continue listening or you might want to stop here if I don't like it. This is an opinion question. Remember, I'm introducing the whistle. My main goal is to not give you a review, though there are some review comments I want to make. As an introductory comment, this is an amazing whistle. My opinion is, would I buy this whistle just for myself? Oh yes, I have no plans on getting rid of this whistle. It's amazing. So let's start looking at some of the physical characteristics. Okay, the MK Pro is aluminum. It is tunable. It has a brass slide. Make sure you keep that lubricated with cork grease is the proper way to do that. You can pick up cork grease at any music store. The finish is an anodized finish, which is good. Then the tone hole has that beautiful insert there. I like the contrast. The head of the whistle, let me get there. See, that is, I like that. It's not too long, not too short. I find that with that curve there, I can just rest this butt of the head on my, below my lower lip, and then this fits nicely in my mouth. Curved airway. Hole spacing is not too long, but you are going to have to use the piper's grip. I weighed the whistle. Actually, MK on their website has a data sheet for each of their whistles. You can look up how much this weighs. You can look up the hole spacing. So if you're worried about the hole spacing, you could go to the data sheet and see how far they are apart. The length of the whistle, how far the holes are down. You could check all that out. This is lighter than a Dixon DX102. It's just a smidge heavier than my Howard. So the MK Pro comes in under half a pound. So that's pretty awesome. There are some ridges right behind where your top hand thumb would go to help stabilize it. I've heard some people say that the whistle can start to feel a little slippy. I've got a couple options for that. You don't have to play it down. You can play it out a bit. And that's okay. But you're not always in a setting where you could do that. Our friend Jonathan put some tape where his lower thumb would go on the back side of the whistle. That's good. It helps. I found one great idea. I went to a DIY store. I went to the plumbing department and I got some O-rings. This was $3 for a pack of a bunch of them. That was, I think, a number 18 O-ring, which is just slightly smaller than the outer diameter of the whistle. So I could put this on. First time I've done this, so I'm going to roll that O-ring up to, for me, just above, I don't want it in the way of my finger, just above the fourth hole. And I think, let me put it down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, you could find a place where that'll help, and then that's going to really help stabilize. Wow, that really helps stabilize the instrument. Anyway, great idea. And take that off for now because I want to try and play it without that. It is an all-metal whistle. So, there's one thing metal instruments don't like. A cold metal instrument and warm air creates condensation. That's not a problem with the whistle. That's a reality of life. So before you play your MK Pro, warm it up. That's just something to let you know. You might start playing it and go, oh, this thing's clogging. No, cold metal, warm air, condensation. It will happen every time. So just warm your whistle up. Now, I've checked the tuning of this, and I didn't really need to because the folks at MK, I mean, this is a professional grade whistle. They have worked bottom to top on the tuning. Now, the C natural seems beautifully in tune with an O, X, X, O, O, O. Now, you can experiment with that some. Still good tone. You do have to give it a little bit of oomph, to really hit those last few notes, the B, C sharp, C natural, and the third octave D. in order to get those in tune and in order to play them. But that's okay. They play very, very nicely. So what I'd like to do is I'm gonna make sure I'm warmed up. The whistle is that is, and then I'm gonna play a scale and just mess around a little bit. I'm not gonna play anything in particular. I just want to give you a sense of the tone of the whistle. All right, I'll do a scale and messing around some. And I've not had this long, so forgive my lack of pure experience with it. See, it's a little, the metal's not quite warm enough yet, and I already had some condensation developing. That's okay. You can clear it out easily. I could do that all day. It's great, but I hope you heard some of the tone qualities. Remember, you're selecting a whistle based on tone quality, playability, breath requirements. The MK Pro is not as clear and clean a tone as my Howard, for example, but it has a little bit of breathiness with none of the chirpiness, and that hits a sweet spot with me because you'll notice I sat on some of those tones that I was playing because I just want to listen to it while I'm playing because it sounds so rich. There's a depth of tone, but a gentleness to it as well. And one of the other nice things about it, I know sometimes I say, when you're learning to play, just breathe lightly. Well, the MK Pro doesn't want you to breathe just lightly. So a lot of whistles do. This one you're going to have to give a little more air. But a lot of other whistles, if you really start pushing it, it's gonna break. It's gonna start losing its grip on the note, and not so the MK Pro. It rings well without breaking out of the note into some upper octaves, attempting to go somewhere else. That's a delight. And I'm really, as a musician, impressed with that quality of this whistle. I talked to Jonathan because Jonathan owns one of these. It's his primary whistle. And Jonathan, please pipe in and say more stuff down in the comments. Like Jonathan said, the highest notes require some work, and I found that to be true. But this is an amazingly expressive whistle. It's also phenomenally responsive. Now, I'm not the fastest player in the world, and so some of that is because I gravitate to emotive playing. I do like to play quickly, but what I'll do is I'm going to select one of Jonathan's videos from his channel, and I'm going to put a link to that in the notes to this video, because Jonathan can fly. And you'll hear this whistle with somebody flying over it. You'll see how amazingly responsive it is. This whistle has no delay in its playing. Am I excited? Oh, do I sound like I'm excited? Yes, I love this. It's a delight, but it's a hunk of change. Listen to the tone qualities. Do you like that breathy, no chirpy depth of tone that the MK Pro provides? I could almost stay in the lower octave all the time, but the upper octave is just as delightful. You can play it gently, requires a little more air. What I did was I played my Howard, which is an easy blower, and I played through a tune as long as I could. And then I relaxed my lungs a little. I did the same on the MK Pro, and I couldn't play as far, but I could really get into it. So this is not a huge air requirement from a whistle standpoint, but it requires a little more breath pressure from you as a player. So again, would I recommend the MK Pro as a low D whistle for you? If you like the tone qualities, that resonant, slightly breathy in each note, no chirpiness, depth of tone, you can fly over the instrument, you can sit on a note and be as expressive as you want for as long as your breath can take it. You can play it gently, you can play it loud, you can get after it without it breaking out of the note. I might sound like I'm gushing. That's because this is beautiful and it plays beautifully. I have not seen a lot of reviews on the MK Pro. I've seen it compared. A lot of folks will say, here's my Burke, here's my MK Pro, here's my Chieftain, here's my Goldie, and I'm going to play all of them. And you get that, and that's awesome. But yeah, I wanted you to know some of the qualities of this whistle. If you love the qualities of the whistle, and if the cost of over $300 is not a barrier to you, then yes, definitely get this. It's worth adding and putting near the top of your option. Now, I have a couple other whistles coming in the next couple of weeks, low Ds, that I'm going to review as well. My challenge is I have loved most everyone I've played, but the MK Pro will not sit around and gather dust. My Howard won't sit around and gather dust. Some of the others I have will sit around and gather dust, although I want to play them now and then. This should be, if you're after an upgrade or if you're after a professional whistle, this MK Pro needs to be on your list. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade. Happy low D whistling.